I wanted to tell you about my new novel. It's called Dark Tides, and it takes over really 21 years after the end of Tidelands. We're 21 years on. Eleanor and Alice, the characters, have survived their ordeal at the end of Tidelands, and they're in a warehouse on the edge of the River Thames in a very poor part of London, and they're making a living as wharfingers. They own a wharf and they take the coastal trade. They load and unload the coastal trade. Into this very hard, very poor life comes James Avery, who we last saw in Tidelands, and he was the man, the spy royalist priest, who let Eleanor down when she most needed him during her pregnancy. He's come now because he's restored, like King Charles II, to his lands and his fortune, and what he needs more than anything else, all he needs now, is a son and heir to inherit, and he believes that Eleanor has that child. So he's trying to get into the warehouse and see Eleanor. He's blocked by Alice, who hates him, as she always did, and just as we're in this crisis between the two of them, a carriage draws up outside. A black silk shoe steps on the doorstep, and a young, beautiful woman in darkest, deepest mourning enters the warehouse. You don't know who she is. That's okay. The reader doesn't know who she is, and not even I know who she is when I was writing it, and she's one of these wonderful characters that come to you in the moments of miracle of novel writing, when I literally went, who is this? This is fantastic. It turns out that she is Rob's widow. She's called Livia. She's a Florentine woman, but she's been living in Venice. And she has a plan to restore the family fortunes and to make her own fortune, really at whatever cost to anyone else. It doesn't matter to her. The family find themselves involved in fraud, in forgery, and in counterfeiting, in not declaring their taxes as well, by the way. And it's Livia who drives this part of the story. Meanwhile, over in America, in Hadley, Connecticut, Ned is trying to make a life as one of the settlers, one of the earliest settlers up the Connecticut Valley. And one of the pleasures of this novel was doing the research, both in Connecticut, in New England, and in Venice and Florence.